welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. I am Coach Julia, and today we're going to begin doing loop turn tutorials. You guys have been asking me to start delving into teaching you loops. This is not a loop jump, but a loop turn on the ice. So today we are going to begin with a backward inside loop. All right, with the people I've taught these, all the 4 different varieties, the back inside seems to be the best starting point to understand how to do a loop. So that's where we're gonna get going with. You do want some good, strong back inside edges, good control of those edges, but we'll delve into a couple exercises that will help you get those back edges a little stronger. So let's check out what a back inside loop looks like. I like starting loops on a line because it helps give you a really good reference for the shape that you're creating with that loop. So we're gonna go ahead and head over to this red line. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna actually moving backwards on this line. Once you get the hang of each of these, you can alternate back and forth doing a loop on each side. And that's a really great way to exercise them, to get them really balanced and really smooth by working on a line and doing them alternating down the line. I am gonna start with my left back inside loop. Now, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, clockwise rotator or counterclockwise rotator, you have to learn all your loops. These are footwork, and with footwork, we learn all the different variations, all right? Even the ones that are a little bit more challenging for us. But today I'm going to start with my left back inside loop. So I'll show you one, and then we're going to break down a few exercises to make this happen. So a loop is going to look like this. I'm going to step out on my inside edge, I'm going to rotate, and then I'm going to check out. It's considered a turn, but you never actually turn. I never turned forwards. I stayed backwards that whole time. All right, let's look at what this looked like on the ice. So here is the pattern of the loop I created. I think of it like a birthday balloon where you have the air and the little knot at the top. So you want it shaped kind of like a birthday balloon and about the size of a nice big birthday balloon. So if I was to measure this with my skate, it's about my skate length long, or wide I should say, and a little bit longer than my blade lengthwise. So we have it about blade length this way and a blade, and this one was about a blade and a third lengthwise, and that's approximately the size you want for your loop. So this is what your pattern will look like. So I'm going to give you 3 back inside edge gliding positions that I want you to practice. You're going to memorize, you're going to soak those into your muscles. And then to do the loop, we're going to move through those 3 positions. So the first position we're going to hit is going to be on our back inside edge. So I'm using my left leg for this one. Okay, I'm going to place, I'm not moving at the moment, so it's hard to explain this, but I'm going to place my foot right on top of the same circle in the air. So it'll be here. So you can see my free foot is as if I'm on a little balance beam, but it's just hovering above the ice. So it's hovering right above. All right, so it's right in front, right above, as if I'm trying to hit the same circle with both feet. My upper body is going to rotate as hard as I possibly can towards my left hip. I'm going to put my right hand all the way in front of me, slightly crisscrossed, my left hand behind my left cheek. Okay? It's like I'm trying to look at my own tush, all right? So I want you rotated really, really hard. I also want your upper body slightly to the outside of your lower body, okay? So you're pushing back with that left hand with your upper body outside of your circle. Now this, if you do it well, can almost accidentally become a loop, and that's okay, but we're not trying to create a loop yet. So gliding, it's going to look like this. My body's really trying to create that loop right now. So, but we're going to practice that. Left foot on back, right foot on top. Rotate that upper body. I'm bending through the center of my left leg, so I'm balanced in the middle of that blade. I've got my upper body rotated, so I got my upper body rotated, so I'm almost looking behind myself. And that is the first position that you want to try to practice hitting. Let's move on to the second position that I want you to practice. This is the center of the loop, okay? So the first position is the edge going into the loop. The second position is going to be the center of your loop. This is what I call stirring the pot. So when we do this in motion, the right leg is going to feel like it's stirring the pot, all right? Like you're swooshing around the loop with your right leg. So the center position, that second position, you still are really, really rotated with the upper body. So your upper body really doesn't change except for it to get more outside and more pressed down with that left leg. So if you're here, you're gonna press farther, okay? It's hard to do without creating the loop, and we're just trying to exercise, but you want that upper body to keep pushing where it already was. So that left hand way back, the right hand in front, your upper body's outside of your circle and you're pushing behind yourself, okay? The leg, the free leg, is going to pull in. So it was on top of your circle and it's gonna pull in, so it's right next to your skating leg, and your knee is gonna bend a bit more. So your skating knee is increasing that bend. When you increase that bend, make sure you are not going up on your toe pick. The most common problem with any loop is people hit that toe pick and create a turn or a really nasty toe drag. So we are going to press through the center of that foot, okay, not the front. So that second position is going to be increased with the upper body, increased knee bend, and you're pulling your right leg in to your left. So that second position will look like this. All right, so I'm even more compressed. I'm even more pressing with my left hand, even more compressed with my left knee, and I'm pulling my right leg in. Okay, so I'm really, really, really twisted. My spine is twisting as much as it can, and that's going to be the second position that I want you to practice. So now we're going to move on to that third position, all right? We had the first one, which leads into the loop, the second one, which creates that circle, and then the third one, which is wildly important, which is how you get out of the loop and back to your starting line, okay? So we're trying to imagine we're skating away, we're doing the loop at the top, and we're getting back to our starting line. So that is the check out of the loop. So we have had everything rotating as hard as we can to the left, okay? Our spine is twisted, our hands pressing down, we're looking to the left. Our body is leaning outside of the circle to the left. When it's time to check out of this loop, everything is switching and we're moving to the right, okay? So we've stirred the pot, you'll see what I mean in a moment, and we're switching, and we're gonna check out with our right hand now leading, our right hand pressing. Our body is really straight on top of the circle. We don't want to be falling in, we don't want to be falling out, so we're on top of our circle, and our right leg is now going to check out behind us. So our third position is going to look like this. So our right hand is now the one that's pushing behind us. Our right leg is behind us. We're open with the right hip, we're open with the right shoulder, and we're going to look towards the right. So you're going to glide, you're really engaging that inside edge because we're still on the inside edge with the left leg. We're checked out, everything facing the right now as hard as we possibly can. So that is going to be your third position. So let's take all three of those positions and put them together into a loop. So I'm starting on my axis line because eventually we want to be able to alternate these just for practice. All right, so I'm going to strike out onto my left inside edge for that position 1, roll through to position 2, and then check out into position 3. Remember, we want to be pushing through the middle of the foot. If you pop up onto the toe pick, you're going to do an actual turn and not a loop. All right, let's give this a try. 1, 2, and 3. So in the middle of that loop is that stirring the pot motion, and I really want you to get that idea down. We're doing it with our right leg, our free leg. So our foot is in front. We want to have it planted there before we try to create the loop. If you push right in, then you aren't really proficient at a loop. You're just doing the loop from a push. We want to push, place that foot on the top of the circle, stir the pot with that foot, and pull out. Now, not creating a full circle, but when you're doing the loop, since you are making a circle, your leg will feel like it's making a circle. And that motion is as you bring your foot in. All right, so we step, plant, stir the pot, and pull out. So this motion, you want to feel like a little whoosh, a little whip with it. Step, plant, whip, out. All right, so have a little fun with trying that stirring the pot motion. Now we do need to do this on the other foot. It's all exactly the same. Step out, hit position 1, stir the pot, check out. All right, skaters, I hope you enjoyed that back inside loop tutorial. Those are pretty tricky, but so many of you have been asking me to start delving into loops, and so I hope you found this one, this first installment, helpful. If you enjoyed it, please do give us that thumbs up. And as always, I look forward to reading all your comments in that section down below. If you haven't done so yet, then hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell down in the corner so you can see all my videos when they come out. Happy skating, and I'll see you next time.